Welcome to CF 2.0 Geek Out, where we deep dive into ClickFunnels 2.0 and how to use it to grow your funnel building business.
Hey, I'm Susan.
And I'm Andrea.
Come along with us as we learn and discover how to use the new ClickFunnels and how to make it bend to our will. Welcome, everybody. We're going to make this short and sweet today, give you what updates or lack of updates we have. And we also are going to kind of dissect someone's page that we're going to get into. So welcome Andrea too.
Yes, thank you.
Do you want to cover the update portion of our?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. Not a lot of updates. So, I mean, basically, I think we talked about the membership site update from last week. And so that is still there. Been testing that out. Definitely super excited about that. Progress isn't in there yet. But the wayfinding is 10 times better, which is awesome. Let's see. Only other, again, I'm really loving just the organization, how they have the events, separate up at the top. I think that's super cool. No new updates on 2.0 in terms of new edits or new things that we've discovered in the editor, new releases, that's all pretty consistently the same. So they have to be putting a new push out. We just looked this morning before we got on to see, but couldn't see any updates right now on the 2.0 editor or what that looks like. So that's still a TBD. I know, just to express it, I know the limbo of us who are eagerly anticipating 2.0 and trying to make tech decisions in the 1.0 environment. I know for me is getting really I don't know if it's just because I know 2.0 is coming, but it's there's an emotional drain there of managing those two worlds. That's not fun right now. Yeah. But yeah, I would agree. I don't know if you're feeling it too, Susan.
Yes, a little bit, but I'll say not as much anymore. Whereas earlier on, first shout out to, I think, Charmin. Tell me if I'm not saying your name right. She's watching. And she's
hey.
People say hello if you're here with us. I think early on it was we're going to be getting this so soon. So I'm just going to tell my clients to wait on certain things, or we're going to do some of this in 1.0 and then we're going to save some of it for 2.0. But as time has gone on, and I've just made the decision to, when it comes to my clients, pretend 2.0 doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist and it's not on the horizon. And then we are making decisions based on that's not even an option. It's not even in the future because we have no idea when we're going to have it. We have no idea when when it's going to actually be launched and out of beta for other people to have it. And it just does not make any sense to wait on launching anything or building anything when we have a perfectly capable 1.0 to be doing it in.
Yeah.
Is that I used to have this balance that Andrew was talking about of what are we going to do in 1.0? What are we going to wait for 2.0? What do I tell my clients? What are we going to hold on to and wait to launch in 2.0? And now that we have progressed and we know that we're not really getting it in the time frame that we all kind of thought we were, that I'm not waiting anymore. The way that I talk to my clients is they don't even know about 2.0. And if they do, I don't even bring it up anyway. And we just pretend it's not a thing and we just keep moving forward in 1.0. There's no sense in waiting to launch anything. Just do it in 1.0.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. Yep. And I'm definitely having that same conversation with my clients, but it's I know internally I'm can't wait. But
yeah, because there's things right now that I'm working on with a client where I'm I know that 2.0 is going to be able to handle this so much better.
Yeah.
But it's not an option, so we have to scrap something together anyway to make it happen. So you just got to do what you can do. There's no sense in waiting.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
I'm going to ask you guys a question before we move on to our next topic here. So we have a couple more things we're going to talk about today, but we are going to wrap it up in the next 10 minutes or so. So I want to just ask you watching right now, what what are you, first of all? Are you a like service provider? Do you build funnels for clients? Are you here for your own business yourself? You want to learn more about how to do things for your own business? So just let us know in the comments. It helps us to know more about how to talk to you guys. Yeah. I think for the most part, you're probably a service provider if you're attracted to being in this group, but just in case. And then also, like, how are you handling working with clients right now with knowing 2.0 is coming eventually?
Oh, yeah, hey, and I know Sharman has like a million businesses. She's on both the e-com and the service side. So her and wife have some amazing stuff going on. And then Titus, I don't know that we have ever met. So you are new in our circle, which I love. Welcome.
He says he's a beginner funnel builder. So welcome. That's awesome.
Yes. Welcome. Yes.
Yeah. You just brought up Madison. I just caught the name. I was like, I don't know who you're talking about, but now I see you're talking about Madison.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, cool.
I missed you saying the name. I was like, I don't know. But yeah, Madison has a lot of businesses. Yes. Okay, awesome. Guys, what we're going to be talking about right now is, well, this isn't directly 2.0 related. One of the first things when you do get access to 2.0 is you're going to get access to funnel hubs. And if you don't know what a funnel hub, real quick, I'll just tell you a funnel hub is basically kind of a website, but it's not even really a website per se, where you are linking all of your funnels from this funnel hub. So the goal is if someone came and landed on your funnel hub because they were maybe doing more research into you, making sure that you're legit, or they found you somewhere and found their way onto your funnel hub, that your goal from your funnel hub is to get them into your funnels, and then they make their purchases in your funnels. So that's the first thing that they're going to give you when you get access to 2.0. And so we have covered marketingsecrets.com, which is kind of Russell's funnel hub. Even though it's not about him personally. And so we've covered this a lot in the last several, not the last several videos, but in several videos previous to today. So you can go look that up. But what I discovered last week was that Steve Larsen has a newly designed. So he had a funnel hub up before. It kind of got taken down, and now I can see it's because they were redoing it. But this is not on 2.0. So what we want to talk about a little bit today is kind of like what things you can be thinking about when you're thinking about designing your own funnel hub or funnel hubs for your clients. So if you're cool with that, we're going to keep going and hang with us. Shout out to Sharman, who subscribed to the YouTube channel.
And I think it's worth just re-emphasizing that the whole website is dead. If you're in a funnel philosophy, like funnel hubs are still very much in support of that. The number one goal is to try to get somebody into a funnel from your funnel hub. And it's just a place you would never drive ads and never drive traffic to a funnel hub. It is just purely for people if they need to find you, are looking for you in other means. And it's a central place where it's kind of like almost the bigger version of a link tree, but again, never drive traffic, never drive ads, these places. That's
a great way of thinking about it. Like a fancier link tree.
Right. Yep. Okay. So this is Steven's. Now, really interesting is like so the origin of the funnel hub was Mike and AJ were the ones that created the funnel hub. They're in Russell's inner circle. They're, longtime people in there. And they run an agency predominantly for brick and mortar, and they would build WordPress sites. And so they discovered that a lot of the people inside of the inner circle didn't have what they call the shadow hub, which is like when people go and search for them, they didn't have these places. And so they created a funnel hub, which is it's a ClickFunnels strategy, but on a WordPress backend. And so fast forward, Nicole and I created the Funnel Nexus, which is like 100% on ClickFunnels, which you can do. And now with 2.0, you can legit have a full funnel, funnel hub on 100% of ClickFunnels domain.
Can I ask a question that I'm sure I'm not the only one wondering this? Why did they decide to make their funnel hub based on WordPress? Like what are some of the capabilities that they were able to do that they were trying to put into a funnel hub that they weren't able to do in ClickFunnels? Because I don't see why they didn't just use a ClickFunnels page, but I don't know all the features that they were putting into them either.
So this is me guessing. I wasn't behind the scenes, right? I think there are 4 legitimate reasons and 1 probably just operations reason, right? The first one is that all of their designers and all of their developers were WordPress design and developers.
Okay.
So like just from a pure operations standpoint, like it was probably easier, and they probably had more design freedom to work on the platform than all new. Not that they were shabby at ClickFunnels by any means, right? But like, I think really Catherine Jones, the reason we're able to see what's possible with ClickFunnels design hacking is because of design hacking,
They needed to take CF design school.
Exactly. Which brings me to my first reason, like legit reason why people think they have to go to WordPress for this. Number 1 is they don't think they can get it to look the way they want it to look. Right. That's number 1. And the website's supposed to be like bigger and more branded and all this other stuff. Right. So I think that's one, but we know that gets shut down by design hacking principles, right? Even design hacking 101. Second one is the SEO fallacy. So the SEO fallacy is like WordPress is better at SEO than ClickFunnels, which out of the box statement without any, intelligent conversation behind it is a true statement. But if you're following a funnel philosophy, the SEO strategy that people are saying trumps it doesn't pan out. Like it doesn't actually make sense. I'm not going to go deep into that because I know I've talked about it a lot, but if anybody's interested, you can hit me up and I'll give you the reason why that's not actually true. The third reason is because of if you are an actual legit blogger, like WordPress is a blogging platform and ClickFunnels is not. And so people thought that they had to go to WordPress for blog. What they didn't know is that you can actually do a Medium embed on a ClickFunnels page. Medium gets 5 million to 10 million new customers every single month. And it's a far better platform for you to blog on than any WordPress blog you'll ever do with your SEO of 1 with a Yoast or something, right? So that they didn't know about that. And then the final one is, I think so we got the design, we got the SEO, we got the blogging. And then I think the final one is just some of the other like nuanced things that you can do inside of a WordPress to like the bells and whistles of like the automations and all of that other stuff, right? Which kind of goes hand in hand with design, but it's like a little bit different.
I used to study this stuff.
Sorry, I had other audio playing because I'm grabbing you guys a link to a video. So sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay. So I think those are the reasons why they went to a WordPress platform, just because they didn't know what was possible on ClickFunnels. But yes, we've pretty much, I think, drove a nail in the coffin of like, you didn't have to do that. You know what I mean? You could have done it on ClickFunnels 2.0 or 1.0, which is actually Steve. So he did go down the path of doing a legit funnel hub with Mike and AJ. They were actually his funnel hub was highlighted on their page. Mm-hmm. He since has now gone, this is 100% built on 1.0. Mm-hmm. There's no WordPress backend on this one, which is really interesting move. And then of course we know with Russell's 2.0 has all of that blogging and cross-reference, which also helps on the SEO front. So it's pretty much like a done deal now. Like I do think that in 2.0, it will be like, there's no real excuse left. You know what I mean? In terms of like those 4, even if you had an opinion on my counter to those things.
Yeah.
So that's in a nutshell.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And it's, definitely like, I always wondered that. I'm like, why are they using a different service, a different thing to build their funnel hubs? Like, I can build these in ClickFunnels other than the few things but there's even workarounds for those too. Like if you want to blog, okay, we'll embed a Medium blog. So there's workarounds. There's no reason to go use anything else. Okay, I know we're at the hour. So Andrea, if you've got a hard cutoff and we need to be done, we can.
I have a little bit more time.
Okay,
I would love to like run down quick on like how, from a structure standpoint, it was interesting just watching what Steve has done here. Like from a structure standpoint, he's not really following the funnel hub strategy, right? He's following more of a traditional website strategy, which is interesting. And so I think a lot of times when we get into hubs, people don't know that like there is a strategic structure to the way that these hubs are laid out in order for them to drive people into funnels. And so, maybe we can dive into that super quick.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay.
So,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, I have used Steve's funnel hubs, the one that he had before. And now this one I've funnel hacked them. So I really like the way that he does it. Obviously, like if you switch over to Marketing Secrets real quick, it's more of a traditional looking website. Like it's clicking over to different pages. Like there's multiple pages to go over to, where I think that's a big difference between if you're comparing this one to Steve's. Steve's is one page and the navigation on the top is just scrolling down to different sections. So my business and me, I can relate more to what Steve has and not a full blown, like I have tons of pages on my funnel hub because I'm not a giant business.
Content,
yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's okay. I think it's a really good point. Of course, with Russell, I mean, he has a crap ton of content. So yeah. I think the other thing that's interesting is, he's using just like a little bit of code here, right, to get those to go. And then, okay, so this is a lead gen, right, in terms of like a swag on the thing. If we look over again on a traditional funnel hub, this is a lead gen. So this is that normally at the very top of they used to have it like way at the top here, but now at least at like, above the fold, to use old language, it is the lead gen. Then after the lead gen, then it goes into the flagship offers and the customer journey. So it's in his case, he went to the customer journey part. Again, this used to be the flagship offer right there, which was the One Funnel Away Challenge. I know he's doing a lot of like internal changes on that front, so that it's not just he's even like on the One Funnel Away Challenge. I think he's playing around with like a couple other things that they're calling it. And even if you were to buy ClickFunnels today, they push the $297 with the bonus of this new, like, get your first 5 leads or something like that. Like it's a very lead gen focused. So they've actually stepped away a little bit from the One Funnel Away Challenge, which is really surprising to me because the One Funnel Away Challenge was actually the single biggest contributor that I had heard to their CLV, customer lifetime value. So I think he's just experimenting. I think maybe the One Funnel Away Challenge, they're just trying to play with some other things for creating desire to, as they grow to, a bigger audience.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. But here's the customer journey. Again, if we look at Steve's, this is about who is Steve. So, which is, Russell has this much later. It's not about, it's not about him. It's about that customer journey, which I think Russell, I'm highly biased towards customer journeys. My whole business is around it, but like, I think, I think having the customer journey is better than having something about yourself. But.
Yeah. There's definitely big differences here between focusing on your products, which later on Steve does. He does later, further down the page, but this Marketing Secrets is clearly, it's not about Russell, and I'm sure Russell will eventually have one that is from, I think he already does. I don't know that he has a new one though. I think if you go to russellbrunson.com, he has his own funnel hub. It's probably it's either an Alex and is it Alex and AJ? Am I getting those names wrong? Well, the WordPress based one, or it's 1.0. But I was just gonna say, like the Steve J. Larsen one, it's more like, think about it more of like somebody is found you, discovered you, and they want to learn more about you. Like, who is this person? It's like to build trust. It's almost like putting your bio, your profile, if you were to, like, if you've ever gone and done a podcast before and you have like your one page where it's like, here's like just all about me. It's almost like a resume. That's more like what Steve has going on here.
Yeah. Which again, I really don't, people don't care about you. You know what I mean? Like, I know we need to have that, but like, people don't care about you. Even if you're branding as yourself, I still think that it's more about like your invitation into the world and the ideal future that you're inviting people into and the community you've created. And again, I know I'm thinking about McCall and the different charisma styles, and I think he's a lead and you're a lead, and you know what I mean? So maybe it's just a style thing, but yeah.
So if it were your decision here, you would still have a section about him, but it would not be like the first thing after his main call to action. You would move that like further down the page.
Or on a separate page. Yeah.
Or on a separate page.
Yeah. Yep, I would make it about
that's a lot of text about career. Yeah. Like I even as I was funnel hacking it, I skipped over reading it. Like, I don't want to read this.
Yeah. Because why are people, I mean, Steve is really dynamic character, right? And like but I think people are attracted to him because his rebel, like this capitalist pig thing, like that is the big invitation, you know? I mean, yes, of course we love Steve and he is the brand, but I think it's the invitation he's extending, not him, you know?
Yeah.
And that's
a good point.
Yeah. So that's why I focus on the journey and the invitation. Yeah.
Shout out to James and Kate in the comments. So James actually recently interviewed Steve and Marley in his group together. They did their very first joint interview together, and they did it in James's group. It was really awesome. Cool. And so, yeah, that advice where he says, getyourname.com, james.com, steve.com, and use that as the place you send people to book, book you for interviews. It's really easy to remember.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, thanks, James. And then Cade, oh my gosh, publishing genius. Thanks for joining, Cade. Okay, so yeah, this basically is like now the media hub, right? Or the content is normally at the bottom. This was interesting when we were hacking, is like he's using Jotform. Don't use Jotform. It's so painful. Unless you have to be HIPAA compliant, it's such a painful tool.
Is that one Jotform or is it a different one?
Oh, no,
I know we looked at it.
WooForm. Both of them are bad.
Yeah.
Jotform's HIPAA compliant. WooForm is really popular, but it's horrible. Like Typeform, if you don't have any money, go with Google Forms. Like ClickFunnels Forms out of the box isn't horrible. Like, yeah. Jotform and WooForm are like, ugh, they're horrible. But anyway, so this is a form, and then he also has another form down here, which again is like super awkward and weird.
I'm not a fan of two forms right there. I'm not a fan of having forms directly on the page to begin with. Like I would have them be pop-ups or something.
Yeah, I've done it before on like a lead gen, but it was very clearly embedded, and it was like we were just trying to make it as simple as possible for like the first, but it's not a lot of information, super tiny, and yeah. So, but yeah, I'm with you. And there's like really a lot of weird space happening because of probably the iframe padding.
Yeah, they always do weird things, which is why I think on a front page, like on a landing page, I don't like embedding forms right on a landing page. Like have it go to a different page and then have the form embedded on that page, or have it be in a pop-up or something. But anyway, it works for him, I suppose.
Yeah. I think that what's interesting is just the decision to come over to 1.0, you know what I mean, and not be on that WordPress site. It's super interesting. So,
and noting that Steve definitely has access to 2.0, and he has not put this on 2.0 at this time.
Yeah.
So we don't know. That could be a domain thing. Like, I don't know if he is using this domain on anything that he has built in 2.0, kind of like you, Andrea, where you're like, I want to get my 2.0 hub launched, but I don't want to move my domain over yet.
Yes. I'm in domain hell right now. Oh my gosh. Yes. I know, and everyone's like, just do a subdomain. I know, but it doesn't work. And
maybe it's just because of all of the things, right? Like it's not running perfectly yet, and so just not putting any eggs into that basket yet.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. I'm on a mission to try to figure it out this weekend. So maybe next week I'll have more to report on that front. But yes, that's been So yes. Awesome. So all of you who are prepping for 2.0, probably the biggest thing you could do is start to design out your funnel hub. You could do it in 1.0. We, I don't know, Susan, what your experience is, but we had funnel hubs. We've done probably about 20 of them now, 25 of them, and we can convert them over to 2.0 in like a day, 2 days max, depending on how complicated they are. So it's really, the conversion is pretty easy.
Yeah. I mean, it's not going to be that difficult to move. Maybe time consuming if you have a lot of stuff built in 1.0 that you're wanting to move over to 2.0, but on a page per page basis, it shouldn't take that long to move it over. Like, honestly, it should be pretty fast based on the the styles. Is that the right word I'm using? Like the brand styles inside of 2.0, where you don't even have to go and mess with all the buttons and all of the background colors and the fonts and every page. Like, it's just gonna be done for you, and you're gonna be just copying and pasting your text and loading in your images and your videos.
Yep. Which on that note too, so you have like, you can make your funnel hub strategy and all the content, and it's easy conversion. And if you don't already have a brand guide, go make one.
Yes, go make a brand guide.
At minimum, it's like, and don't just do colors and fonts, because that is not what a brand guide is. Do imagery, do lines, do shapes, do gradients, do like glows. What do your buttons look like? Like, just have a plan of attack, and then you can program it all in 2.0, and it is like smooth sailing amazingness. So
that could be something we do for you guys in one of our next videos. Is we can't show you the back end of 2.0, but we can tell you what the options are of like what it's going to allow you to set, so that we can kind of give you this list of have all these things ready to go. And then you're going to be able to put your brand style together in like 5 minutes when you get into 2.0, and then you'll be ready to start creating all your stuff. So we could do that, and we can kind of just show some examples of some brand guides or something.
Yeah.
Let us know if you guys want to see that and want us to talk about that. James says in 1.0, a funnel hub is just an opt-in page. Yeah, it's literally just usually you just use an opt-in page, but it's just a page. Put in your information. You can put the navigation on the top if you want to, but that navigation is typically, it doesn't have to, but I think typically you're just going to have one page unless you have like a lot of stuff that you need to cover. If you're a bigger business, you have a lot of things. Is this another example? Oh yeah, this is Valerie.
Yeah, this is Val. Yep, exactly. Yeah. So this is James A 1.0 example. So again, it used to be that we put the lead gen right at the top. So he's shifted stuff around, but you can see this is just an opt-in page. It's a series of opt-in pages. And then you would drive them to your funnels. So you can see here that this is the flagship funnel. You want to be a maverick. Here's the customer journey. Each one of these is a funnel. This is a funnel. This is an Instagram. This is testimonial. And then this is Elf sites. If you're not familiar with that, a feed. These are testimonials, again, free resources. This is, again, all the way at the bottom about Valine. And then this is an Instagram feed using Elf sites.
Yeah.
So, and then this is a newsletter opt-in that she does. So awesome. This is a pretty classic. Yeah. And then you were asking the question, we have about like on its own separate page. And then the products I love, which again is just an opt-in page. And it's really good for affiliate sales if you have some stuff that you want affiliate sales, like random, products and services and things where you're trying to get a connection to people who like the same thing, and therefore then they'll like you. So
I love that. That's a great example. Agoracoach.com.
Yeah.
If you guys want to check that out for an example, I'm going to put it in the comments link. Okay. James says he needs to make his brand style, and Madison saying yes, please. So I think, we'll plan on doing that for you. We'll do some more examples of a brand style guide and what you'll want to have ready for preparing for 2.0.
Yes. Love it. Cool.
Awesome.
All right.
Okay. Thanks for tuning in, and have a great weekend. All right. Bye.
Okay. Bye, guys.